Welcome into the Hustle Show podcast for Wednesday, May 10th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Kelly in Vegas, Kelly Stewart, CT Bets, Chris Thurston, and Adam Trigger. Guys, we are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, vivatequilaseltzer.com. That's where you go. Get it ordered right to your house or business. Promo code HUSTLE20 at checkout takes 20% off. Viva Tequila Seltzer, refreshing and drinkable hard seltzer, 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 4.5% ABV. Guys, if you do not like hangovers, this is the drink for you. Tequila is in there. It's better for you. It's healthier, so to speak, guys. Also powered by Wagertalk.com. Go check out Wagertalk.com. Best free live odds in the industry. Kelly, I didn't know if me or you were starting this off. Good to be on with you. It's been too long. Welcome on in.
Drew, I'm definitely not hosting whenever you're here. I'm only hosting when you're in Mexico or something. I don't want to host. I host enough shows. My brain just doesn't care. And then I'm just mean to Adam the whole time. This way, I got to sit back, relax, check out the Wagertalk odd screen while you guys are talking, do some shopping around. You know how that goes. Fun stuff. I've got a birthday dinner after this. And then I'm on my way to Colorado for a wedding that's not during football season. See, the people you want me to come, put them in May. June, July. Wait, we can't talk about this on the show anymore. That being said, been heavily planning my birthday party in the Bahamas. So I've been doing that all day and in conjunction to doing a couple other shows with some NBA. So life is good. No complaints.
Good to have you. Yeah, for sure. And interested in the NBA picks here for the playoffs. We'll get that from Kelly in Vegas on Twitter. Kelly Stewart, check her out. Barstool Sportsbook and all over the Wagertalk YouTube channel, guys. We got CT Bets 16 on Twitter. Chris Thurston, CT Bets. It's been too long, man. It's been months since I've seen your face. Always a good time with you, buddy. Welcome on in.
Drew, great to be back. Great to have the original four here back intact. And man, I missed you as well. You brighten my day every time you say welcome into the Hustle Show Pod. So it's great to hear those words again. Great to be with three of my best friends. And let's rip off some winners and give the audience something to look forward to tonight here and cash some tickets.
CT Pucks, CT Sirens, whatever he's calling himself nowadays, he will throw out some winners on the ice. So we'll get some NHL picks from him. And last, sometimes least, not really least, though, Adam Trigger, number one handicapper at Wagertalk the last 365 days. Congrats to you, man, on all the winners, Trig. And at Top Flight SI on Twitter, Wagertalk.com. Welcome on in, buddy.
Thanks, Drew. Hey, sometimes it is least. And you know what? I want to reference the three, just the last year and whatnot, because I think if I had this awareness, maybe years ago, this would have helped me. So I just want to point out that recently, last couple of weeks, I haven't, really the last 6 weeks or so, I really haven't won much, kind of break even, maybe down a couple of units. The last few days haven't been good at all. Last night, I have a bet that is, basically a winner the whole game until the last at bat and it loses. On Sunday, I had the Padres, bottom of the ninth, 2 out, no one on. Mookie Betts ties the game, and then the Padres lose in extras. And listen, it's easy to get upset with that, but I think back the last year, and you know what? There was a number of times in basketball where I got the big shot when I needed it, or in football when I sort of got the stop or the touchdown when I needed it. And so I just don't worry about things like that anymore. The results, it doesn't bother me like it used to. And I think that's important because, I was talking to Zinno, who's usually on the show with us the other day. He's had a little bit of a losing streak and he's going to take a day off or two. And I'm like, you know what, just keep doing your thing. It's going to, if your process is good, CT went through a similar stretch with kind of a couple bad beats in NHL playoffs. And it's your process is good. And if you look back on years and you've made money or you're winning, it'll all sort itself out. So that's, kind of how I look at that. The last year's been great. The last couple weeks haven't been as great, but, I fully expect that, it'll turn and we'll get our units one way or another.
Yeah, the ball bounces your way sometimes it bounces against you, the way the cookie crumbles type deal. I'll tell you this about sports handicapping, man. Like you've been on a long, good run. Whenever I'm like seeing it well, it was November, December, January. And then I get on my high horse. I'm like, oh, I'm doing so well. I'm picking all these winners. And then sure enough, February came and I gave back like all my winnings, Trig. And now I'm like working out of that. So I know in this business, like sports handicapping, it's like, it seems to be a lot of like touting, oh, I'm this good. Like I've done this. Whenever I'm seeing it well, man, I've learned to just kind of shut up about it, and just keep grinding type deal. Cause I don't want to be that guy that throws it off. I don't know. It's a little too bits from me, but guys, we got some picks coming to you. NBA, NHL playoffs, big South Florida night here with the Panthers and the Heat playing. Kelly, I know you've got the NBA playoffs circled. How have you been hitting them in it? Did you have any plays you want to throw out there to the listeners?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different thought processes that I have tonight. And this is one that Ski Profit and I were texting about earlier. And then I laughed because Ralph had tweeted some stuff and some other people jumped in. And, Julius Randle the other night basically all but said that the Knicks just don't want it as much as the Heat. I mean, to paraphrase him. And that's always weird to me because as a professional athlete, how do you quantify who wants something more? Now, granted, they don't have an answer for Jimmy Butler per se, particularly in Miami. And then Miami was able to steal one in New York as well. To close out the series tonight, Heat are going to have to come play tough. But I'm just not sold on this Knicks team. There's something off with them. But again, it's tough to quantify motivation. And then on the flip side, we also have Lakers at Warriors, which normally the Warriors would be up 3-1 in the series. But here come the Lakers, battered and beaten. I mean, this team just limped into the playoffs. They've been hurt off and on throughout the playoffs as well. And do I think they can close it out tonight? God, you would think Steph Curry and company is going to come to play, but I'm not laying the 7.5. The Lakers defense has been really stout. So that is actually going to be one of my bets for tonight. I only have one. So what I will do is we'll get to that at the end. I'll give out a golf bet. Full disclosure, I get my golf information from a good friend of mine. We'll leave it at that. And he's been really crushing. So is Dave Koken, by the way. I get a lot of really good insight from Dave for outright winners. But I kept giving out a few outright winners, and it just wasn't sticking. Had first round leaders, second round leaders, and hell, I even had a guy that was leading into Sunday, and then there comes John Rahm. So it's been kind of frustrating. So what I've been trying to find is some more low-hanging fruit. And obviously we all know I work at Barstool, and I need to use the Barstool Sportsbook for work. And so I was looking for matchups or top 10, top 25, top 30. So last week was nice to get a cash, very, very easy cash with the top 30 bet. So I'm going back to the well with that. I'm going to take Tom Kim minus 137, top 20 cash. I'm sure if you shop around, you could probably find it elsewhere, but I know for a fact it is at the Barstool Sportsbook. And no, I have no insight on it because it was given to me amongst a laundry list from a very sharp golf bettor. And then I looked at Brett and I said, hi, can you please pick one? I need to be better about golf, but full disclosure, they're not my plays. And as somebody who loves golf, handicapping it is a whole nother animal.
And Kelly, you said outright winners. I mean, is that the way you would recommend betting it, or like top 10, top 20? Because outright, only one guy wins. So,
and that's what's tough. And I'll be honest with you, the guy that Brett's really good friends with, that we both are good friends with, he sends an entire list. Like, it's this long. Uncle Ben's seen it. I'm sure CT's probably seen it. Maybe even Adam's seen it. There's like 12 guys that they bet every single week. And don't get me wrong, when you hit one of those outright winners at, 55 to 1, 120 to 1, like you're free rolling for a while, but it's just so much more difficult to hit. And I was getting frustrated with the guys that I agreed with, because as you guys know, I have lots of friends within the PGA. So like, I like to ask like, okay, how's this guy hitting? I'll text a caddy friend of mine and say, okay, what are we thinking about this particular guy? You guys are, on the practice round with him today. How's his back feel? Those types of things. It's hard. 4 days of waiting to cash a ticket is difficult, but at least if you've got this top 10, top 20, top 30 that Barstool offers, it kind of takes some of that blow off. As I mentioned, I had Patrick Cantley And I had a couple other guys like in that realm of like, 25-1. Max Homa, same thing, got beat out by John Rahm. Those moments get frustrating to me because you want to give out winners. And to me, these top 10, top 20, top 30 are just the better way to go.
Like it. CT bets, man. CT pucks, CT sirens, NHL playoffs. I wanted to throw something by you, man. In terms of playoffs with all the major sports, the NHL playoffs are the best, in my opinion, man. Anything on that? What or picks?
Yeah, it's not even close. I'm with you, Drew. I prefer. I'm a big football guy, so the NFL playoffs and college football playoff, that's my favorite. But I mean, when it comes to MLB, NBA, NHL on the ice, it's great. I mean, these guys, they play, all year. They've been playing from September, and it is an absolute grind. They're playing 3 times a week, and you see it right now. They're giving everything they got, and it's been kind of totally unpredictable here. You see one team, we saw it last night, right? The Devils, beat the crap out of the Canes on Sunday night, and everybody's like, oh, the Devils probably going to tie it up last night. Nope. Canes come right back, and they get it done on the road. And same thing with the Vegas Oilers series. You think Saturday night when the Oilers tie it up 1-1 in Vegas, you think they get to come back home and take the commanding 2-1 lead? Nope. Cassidy has his Vegas Knights ready to go, and they take a 2-1 lead. But yeah, it's been awesome, Drew. Nothing better than NHL playoffs. These guys are giving 110% here, and it's not, they're not just going through the motions like, the association.
Yeah, man, it's cool to see these guys go after it. Hockey players are something else, man. Trig, anything on that? Is
that
NHL
Trig's phone vibrating? Because if it is, I'm going to choke him through the screen. It actually drives me crazy. I'm sitting over here writing down some ideas about a potential future show at Wagertalk, and now I'm like, no, I could not fathom doing a daily show with him. I would just lose my mind.
So 1, no, it was not my phone. My phone is not on vibrate. 2, virtually impossible for you to choke me through the screen. But yeah, no, it was not my phone. Phone's on silent. So, yeah. But I can't wait till we're doing a daily show together, Cal. That's all I have to say.
StreamYard when I could just mute Trig whenever I wanted to. We're back on a different program, so we can be live on the Wagertalk YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, please. Helps us out just a little bit. But yes, that's a fun thing when you're hosting, Drew. You can just go, bye-bye, Trig. You're now muted.
Oh yeah. StreamYard gives you a lot more choices to do as the host. But Trig, I actually think it's like you moving your drink around and you're going like this next to the microphone.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be the Diet Pepsi right here. Yeah.
Drew,
Yeah,
you have a big game breakdown actually on the hardwood, the association that I was just making fun of. If you don't mind.
CT bet 16 on Twitter. Where's he going in the NBA playoffs tonight? CT, what you got?
So I'm going tomorrow night, Thursday, Celtics at Sixers, game 6. And I think you guys are going to be surprised here with my pick. And I know last week, right, was my big game breakdown was the double result. I said take the Celtics to win game 2 and win the series, which they did win game 2. But I don't feel like this is a situation that the Celtics have the ability to make it back. And I'm coming over the top here, Drew. I'm jumping off the top rope. And I like the Sixers here, money line to close things out here. I've seen the Celtics. They can play such great basketball when they want to, but they've been playing well below their standard throughout the playoffs to this point. I mean, really, when you look at the first round series versus the Hawks, they were lucky to make it through that series. Everyone likes to reference the Celtics game 6 over the Bucks from last year, but the Celtics were playing so much better basketball throughout that series than they are now. I mean, they were winning almost every single game, and kind of the Bucks were clawing back into the game and scraping out the wins. This is a totally different basketball team here. The 2 wins that they have over Philly, yeah, they've been fairly convincing, but their losses, they're a larger result of them throwing games away here. And I'm going to give this away, and this is from numerous friends and inside intel with the organization here. Ever since they got back from Philly on Sunday, Marcus Smart has been leading the charge here. They've been partying at Encore all week since they've been back, including going out all night last night, boozing and partying. I had a friend that was there that saw Mr. Marcus Smart, and Mr. Marcus Smart wasn't looking very good, and numerous other Celtics as well. They think they can just roll out of bed and beat the Sixers team. That's simply just not the case. We've seen it the last 2 games, and I've underestimated the Sixers team. I'll admit it here. I admit when I'm wrong. And Joel Embiid, the MVP, I mean, he's looked healthier than ever. He's not even wearing that brace. He's knocking down shot after shot. Even if the Celtics get it going on offense, Drew, the problem is that the Sixers, they just had their best offensive outing of the series last night. Embiid, Harden, Maxey, Tobias. Tobias, he came out of nowhere. They're all clicking right now. And Boston does not have the defensive capabilities to stop them. They did in the regular season. It's just simply not been there right now in the playoffs here. They're going to come up short by the time the final buzzer sounds tomorrow night, and the Celtics are going to find themselves on the wrong side of things in this series, sending them into what's going to be a very painful and long offseason here. I played the Sixers on the money line. Shop around. I got plus 120 here, and the line seems to, you can still get 120, 115 as I'm looking at the Wagertalk odds board right now. So I like the Sixers to close things out, Drew, and send my Celtics packing.
I was going to say the Boston guy going against the Celtics there. Take notice, everybody. CT Vets. I'm guessing they're your team, right? Like you said, you're Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an NBA, a huge NBA guy, and I cheer for the Celtics here, just being in Boston. But I'm just kind of one of those pink hat fans, I guess. If they're playing great, it's fun to go down to the Garden, drink some Vivas, watch them. But I like money more than I like the Celtics, Drew. I'll tell you that much. And I think the Sixers get the cash tomorrow night.
That's a good line there. Liking money more than you like the Celtics, for sure, man. And I'm picking up what you're laying down. I'm currently talking from South Florida. You can't even get into the stadium to see a Panthers game right now or a Heat game when they're down here, man. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, but yet, hey, when they're not winning, nobody shows up. So I know exactly what you're talking about there. We got actually, I'm on a Sunshine State special tonight, guys. I got 2 bets going. One on the ice, one on the diamond. First one is the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays here, best team in baseball. Argument the best team record-wise since 1984. One of the best bullpens in baseball, and you get them at minus 110 tonight. That's the gist of the bet here, guys. I'm going to ride the Rays off of a loss up against Kramer in the Baltimore Orioles. I'm betting it action, mainly because of the bullpen, but overall, most home runs in baseball. They are on the road, but they've been good on the road. They've been good everywhere. It's the Rays on the diamond. And the other part of that Sunshine State special, the Panthers sweeping the Toronto Blue Jays. It's happening. Don't step in front of this train, CT Bets. I'm telling you, man. Panthers are for real. This team comes out to play. They got the goalie there, the Russian guy. He's good, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, 2-time Vezina winner.
Absolutely, man. So that's my Sunshine State special here, guys. Minus 110 on the Rays. And looks like the Panthers right now can even get them at a plus price here. Pick 'em price, minus 102. So that's on the Panthers. Trig, any picks you want to throw out there, buddy?
Yeah, I'll talk about a baseball game. First of all, just Kelly gave Koken a shout out for golf, but I'm pretty sure he's just crushing baseball right now. I saw his tweet earlier. He won with the Tigers, same Tigers team that just could not get a run home from second base for me last night. I needed them to do it once. They had a runner on scoring position in every single inning, managed not to do that. But I know he's having a really good baseball season, and he is like your example, Drew, of like he'll be winning and you'll never hear about it. So I feel like he deserves a shout out because I know he's having a great season. I hope to be having that type of season, a month, maybe 2 months from now. Major League Baseball for me has been about break even. Was fine up until like a week ago. I've given back the profit I've had, so I'm right around even in baseball. But it's May 10th, so I feel pretty good about what's going to happen the rest of the way. I'll talk about a game tonight. This didn't make my card, but it was close. Drew Martin bets don't look now, but the White Sox have won 6 of their last 9 games. and they're just 6.5 games out of first place in the AL Central, believe it or not. That just should tell you, something about the AL Central, that the White Sox, as poorly as they've played, just 6.5 games out of first. They're a team I came into the season high on. I still kind of think it could be there for this team. I also think that they probably win tonight. The money line was a little bit higher than I would have liked it to be to make it a client play, but it's certainly the way I would look here. I think, Drew, I think the White Sox got sick of being the laughing stock of Twitter. I'm not going to lie. Like, as soon as they started getting posted by Barstool and stuff where they were just, not running out grounders, throwing balls into the third row of the stands, just like Bad News Bears style, they've played a lot better. And it's sort of been collective. Like Luis Robert was one of the guy that didn't run the ground ball out to first. He got benched for that. Since he's come back, he's been on fire. And they're just playing much better, across the board. Their pitcher tonight, Lance Lynn, is someone that was horrible to start the season. And he pitched well last time out, finally got a win. He beat the Reds. And I wouldn't be surprised if he, kind of went on a little bit of a run. He's a veteran. We've seen this with him before. I think last year he got off to a slow start and then got like a win or two and went on a tear. I'm not saying he's going to go on a tear this year, but this certainly profiles as a spot where he could have some success. Since 2019, Drew, against the Royals, in 46 innings pitched, I think it's 7 starts. I didn't write that down, but it's he's 6-1, and he's got a 1.75 ERA. So he's kind of owned this Royals team over the past few years. And these are two teams with similar records, Drew, but like the Royals are a bad baseball team, in my opinion. The White Sox are a baseball team that's played bad. There's a difference, right? Like, I don't know that the White Sox are a bad team as much as they just had a bad few weeks, where the Royals are probably a 60-win team this year. 60 to 65 wins at best. Brad Keller on the mound for the Royals. He's pretty much he's the epitome of average. He's a guy that's going to go out there. He's not going to get killed, but he's also almost always going to give something up. He's not someone, in my opinion, that's capable of just like a wipeout type start. And he really struggled against the White Sox last year, ERA of 5.73 across his 4 starts against the White Sox. So, the White Sox come into play with the worst bullpen in the league. That's going to improve. That'll probably improve when Liam Hendricks comes back. He's down at AAA. Shout out to Liam Hendricks, basically beat cancer faster than any other human in the history of the world. And he's back, came out from like not knowing if he was going to pitch this year. He's already in AAA. He'll probably be in the big leagues within a couple weeks. So that's really awesome news, just on a personal level for Hendricks. And when he gets back, instant improvement to the bullpen. Their bullpen ERA is already trending in the right way. The White Sox are a play-on team right now going forward, Drew, and I like them tonight. I think it's minus 125, minus 130. They're probably the right side there. So White Sox will be my big game breakdown. I think they win tonight, and I think they are a good bet going forward.
Great story there with Liam Hendricks, Trig. And I agree with everything you said. Just quickly here, Trig. One thing that kept me off of this is the Royals have the second best OPS over the last week, like hottest lineup in baseball. Does that scare you at all? It's the reason I haven't bet it yet, though.
So, Drew, that's actually a great point. The and I've talked about it on a couple of Wagertalk shows. Like the Royals had a really good hard hit rate, and they were profiling as a very unlucky team. So the fact that they've hit the ball well the last couple of weeks does not surprise me. There's probably, their underlying metrics were better than like bottom 2 or 3 offensive team in the league. But what really is the issue with the Royals right now, in my opinion, I thought their bullpen was going to be decent this year. It's been atrocious. And I don't see that improving. And in this situation, Keller's a guy that the White Sox will get something off of him. And I think Lynn is going to make that hold up, because I think Lance Lynn is probably due for some positive regression. He got a win last time out after getting hammered for like the first 5 starts of the season. And he's had great numbers against the Royals. So I think the way this White Sox lineup comes in, they'll score more than the Royals tonight, even if the Royals do, hit a couple balls hard off of Lynn.
Adam Trigger, Wagertalk.com. At Kelly in Vegas on Twitter, Kelly Stewart, Barstool Sportsbook, Wagertalk.com. Kelly, hey, I mean, I guess what we're having a quick show here. We're talking a couple games. What else you got? I feel like you haven't.
No, there's just not a lot going on. You know, I talked to my producer at Barstool today, and I was like, God, I feel so worthless during non-football and like college basketball, because I think from like mid-August until like mid-April, I'm like 110 miles an hour. I'm going places. I'm traveling. I'm working remote. I'm in Florida. I'm in Vegas. I'm wherever. And then all of a sudden it just falls off a cliff. And I'm like, I have way too much free time. This is weird. I'm not doing my job. It's like, but that's how it always is and how it's always been. It's just like a weird feeling. And frankly, I, kind of said I was like looking at baseball. I was joking with Ariel and Trig about that. At least baseball is a little bit more enjoyable to watch because of the new rules. It's faster. Yeah. It's like, it's at least a little bit more entertaining from a TV perspective. I've always enjoyed watching in person, but that doesn't mean I'm going to handicap it. And the NHL this year just wasn't really something that I got into. And so I kind of just rejuvenated my old NBA TV self and really started getting into the NBA. And it's been really good, but I've been really selective. I mean, there's been 3 nights that I played more than one game, and all 3 of those I went 1-1. So it's like, just pick the one bet that you really like, put it out there. It's okay to pass. It just feels like things are so slow. Like during football season, it's like, yeah, I got 8 bets for Saturday and Sunday, and now it's just like, yeah, okay, I got a bet tonight. But it's not one of those, it's just a weird feeling. I can't really explain it.
No, I'm picking up what you're laying down. It's it's your kind of off season, and you're just taking pictures with Ariel Epstein and blowing up the internet. It's
that's so ridiculous. That picture is so harmless. That made me laugh hysterically. But you got to love the internet, and I got to get new followers somehow, because I got like 1,800 new followers from that. I can pick 20 winners in a row and not get 1,800 new followers from that. There's no way.
Oh, it's crazy how these algorithms work, for sure. But it was a good concert. Fun weekend.
Go ahead.
It was a good concert, like fun weekend overall.
Oh my God, we had a great time. Ariel was in Florida for a whole 40 hours, per usual. Flew in, had a great time. Went to Morgan Wallen, went to the beach, drank way too much, and then she left.
Sounds like a fun weekend. Yeah. Country concerts are always good, for sure. Well,
we're the last people to get to see Morgan. I'm not going to complain, but he was not near as good as Country Thunder, and I said that. And everybody's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, he was just off. And then he cancels the next 6 weeks. So I joked with Trig that maybe I'll pull the Karen that we saw on Twitter, where she's like, you owe me for this. No, I'm kidding. I'm not an asshole.
Kelly,
but I do have a best. Go ahead, Trig.
Before your best bet, because we have a couple minutes. So I need you and CT to weigh in on this. So first of all, Drew is my boy. I would never in a million years fight Drew, ever. But there was in the wager talk.
Also, I think he would lose.
Well, that's the question.
For enough money, I would fight you. That's what I would.
Yeah, actually, that's true. We'll do it at Rough and Rowdy for Kelly. Yeah, but so this is behind the scenes wager talk. Someone made odds. They paired up Wagertalk employees against each other with odds, and Drew and I got paired up against each other. And so the betting opened.
Wait, where is this? Like in our Slack channel or something?
Yeah, we need to give this some more love on social.
If you read your work emails, you would have probably seen this. But
I did not get a work email. Did not.
So apparently the betting opened. What were you, Drew? I think I was plus 110 against Drew. So Drew would be the slight favorite.
Time out. Yeah. I need to find this. This was an email? This was
I'm going to pull it up.
It was in Slack.
I'll pull it up.
Forward it to me, private message, forward the message to my DMs on Slack, however the fuck Slack.
Well, I'm just telling you right now, Kelly, so Drew opened up a favorite over me in a fight. I was plus 110. That makes Drew what, like minus 120, something like that. Depending on what book you're betting at, the splits might be bigger. But I need to know.
First of all, I need to know. Really left out. Like, why am I not on here like fighting somebody?
It would probably be like you versus Ariel, maybe. Like what would we set the odds at?
Also, I'm sorry. It wouldn't be me versus Ariel, but whoever did this, I don't know who this person is, did a terrible job. First of all, Teddy has at least a full foot of a height advantage over Prez. First and foremost, that one's dead wrong. Then you've got Carmine versus Andrew McGinnis, and Carmine's not a little guy,
Yeah.
but Andrew McGinnis probably has at least 3 inches on Carmine and half of his age.
Yeah, McGinnis is great value there.
Thank you.
McGinnis is
Eric
great
Garcia
value
coming
And
through.
Ralph versus Marco? Are you kidding me? Ralph would obliterate Marco. Obliterate him. Marco is the nicest guy ever. Not that Ralph is mean, but I've seen Ralph drink few Miller Lights back in my day. So let me tell you. Yeah, some of these are just ridiculous. Dwayne Bryant, minus $5? No way.
You take
Kevin
Mejia?
Dolan would definitely beat up Tokyo Brandon because Kevin Dolan is literally in the boxing world. Steve Merrill, Andy Lang's an interesting one.
Oh, that would be a
Anthony's
nice
probably
pillow.
good value at plus money.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know who did this. I don't know who this person is. I'm going to go ahead and say they don't know how to price fighters. Maybe they also haven't met anybody in person. I've met almost every single one of these guys in person. So anyway, Trig, sorry, back to full circle. You are a very slight underdog to Drew. You're shorter than him. I don't know your reach. I know you're faster than him because I've watched you guys run a foot race.
Not me at 100%, Kelly. I beat him in a foot race.
Oh, Drew, I was there.
Okay, so
Yeah, I
I'm
pulled
gonna weigh
hammy.
in right now.
I didn't want to complain about it back then, but now I'm good to go.
I don't think Drew would beat me in a foot race, but maybe he would. But I think Drew's not my ideal matchup in a fight.
I watched the foot race.
I mean,
Who would be your ideal matchup? Prez?
So my ideal matchup, no, it's just someone I could tire out because I feel like that's my advantage in a fight.
So you need like a smoker.
Smokes cigarettes. Yeah. He's shorter. He's
someone
older.
That's like out
he
of
only
shape.
Focuses on the curls for the girls, so that's all he's got.
So if I could tire you out, I would win. Like Drew has got a size advantage on me, and I don't know if I could tire him out. So that's not my ideal matchup. But Kel, I am scrappy as hell. Just leave it at that. I'm not going to go down without a fight.
Listen, I didn't say you weren't going to go down without a fight. I just don't. I think that's probably one of the better. I would probably say Drew minus 120. You even money.
You think that's the headliner there, close. Kel? Is that the headliner?
Oh,
no.
The headliner I'm sure people would love to see, even though it's priced so poorly, Prez and Teddy. Have you guys not watched Wagertalk today?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, my God.
That's true.
I have no idea how there hasn't been a fist fight broken out yet.
Kelly, wait, I feel like you would take Teddy.
In the fight? Oh, my
versus
God,
Prez?
yes.
Oh, I'd be all over Prez. Prez would tear Teddy up.
No way. Teddy would just go like this to Prez's head and just hold him, and Prez wouldn't even be able to reach. It'd be like when you have like I do to like my 9-year-old niece. I just put my hand on her head and I'm like, guess what? You ain't going nowhere. And she tries like karate kick me and shit. And I'm like, bro, you can't do that yet. In 5 years, you could probably kick my ass, but right now is not. You're just not it.
So do you have 3 best bets off of those lines that you like the most?
So you can repost.
Can we put them up again, Eric?
Yes, Ralph Michaels is an absolute steal at Pick'em. That is the most obnoxious thing I've ever seen. That is the worst line in the bunch. I would say Kevin Dolan over Tokyo Brandon, which isn't really fair because, again, Kevin has a boxing background, and I know that. So it's like a little inside information, if you will. And then I would have to go with McGinnis plus 125 over Carmine. I love Carmine.
That's good value.
But again, we're talking about 50 versus 20. Carmine's a big guy, but Andrew McGinnis is even bigger than he is. Like, how's he getting plus? I mean, they're both nice Canadians, so they would both say sorry to each other 45 fucking times in the middle of the fight. But like, I don't know who priced this. I don't know who that guy is, wherever you guys saw that in the comments, but obnoxiously priced bets. And I probably even take a stab at Mejia plus 375. That one's ridiculous too. There's just a couple really ridiculous ones here. Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Really? No, it is. Especially, I love Marco. But I mean, for fuck's sakes, the guy drinks sex on the beach as his favorite drink. Like Ralph's like doing 12-ounce curls all day, and Marco's like, I'll have one sex on the beach.
Kelly, I like your analysis there. A lot of good stuff. I would be on the other side. Ralph for sure. He's a pretty big dude. I would take Prez against.
Ralph's got at least 8 inches over Marco. At least. Ralph's huge. A lot of people don't realize how big Ralph is until they see him in person.
Yeah. He's a big
and he's
dude.
all like right here, big shoulder. He's a big German guy.
I might take Carmine over McGinnis. You brought up the 50-20 thing, but like it's real life. It's not UFC fighting, like 50-year-olds, they have that man strength kind of, and he does like look like he's pretty healthy. He's a pretty big guy
That's
too.
interesting.
I would
don't
agree
know.
with that, but I just think like when someone is almost half your age or damn close to it,
Yeah.
like again, there becomes a point in time where like the old man strength no longer works because like you're full of piss, vinegar, and testosterone at 25.
Yeah.
You can take a punch still because you're stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like there becomes like a risk adverse thing, right? As you get older, like you don't want to do, man, I don't want to do that because I'm going to wake up sore tomorrow. Like when you're 19, you give no fucks what you do. Think about it, Drew. You drank through appendicitis, Drew. You were how old?
I did. I was like, it was 2009. It was the day after the Arizona Cardinals Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl. Yeah. Who's ever watching out there, the next day, your day was better than mine. I was in a hospital bed and my appendix ruptured. So it's 2009.
That's what I mean. You're like, well, I'm at a football game. So you're going to listen to my buddies who say, you're fine. Shut up, liver, you're fine, to quote Uncle Ben. You don't think anything of it. And next thing you know, you're in a world of hurt. Like, when you're young, you do dumb things. And that's why I think there is an actual advantage there because you heal so much better when you're younger. And I understand there's old man strength, but then there's like somebody twice. I mean, that'd be like me beating up like a 60-plus-year-old woman. like how many 60-year-old women do you think can take me? Not very many.
Probably not. You're right. Guys, if you learn anything from this, when your friends say drink through it when your stomach hurts for like 3 days straight, don't listen to them. They're giving you bad advice there. So just go calm for the next couple days. CT Bets, man, I know we kind of rambled there. Do you want to call anybody out on the Wagertalk roster? Get them in the ring with you? Any final thoughts before we shut it down?
No, I think the most intriguing fight would be Steve Merrill versus Andy Lang. I think that'd be a really nice pillow fight.
Oh, stop! Why is it a pillow fight?
I don't know. I just think it would be.
Steve is a really nice guy, and well, Andy is too. But like, I don't picture either one of them wanting to punch somebody else in the face.
That's why I said I think it would be a really nice pillow fight.
Touche.
Yeah, I don't think we're unfortunately going to see any of them unless somebody has a couple too many drinks at the Wagertalk meet and greet in August, and hopefully that doesn't happen.
Could you imagine? I'm like live streaming. There's like a handicapper fist fight.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, very terrible humor. Don't mind me.
That wouldn't be good.
Oh, that'd be funny. Anybody else have anything to throw out there before we shut it down?
I think we got to do best bets.
Got a best bet? CT Bet 16 on Twitter. Check them out. CT Bets, final thoughts, best bets, man.
Yeah, best bet. I'm gonna head to the ice and Trig, I think you're gonna like this one. I want you to grab a 4-pack of Viva, sit back, relax, watch it with Mal, and enjoy this one. Last week on the show, I cashed my best bet with the Knights as the home pup. They got the job done in Game 1. The Knights have now taken control of this series, Drew, with the offensive shooting, some firepower, and finding the back of the net, including 5 in the most recent win on Monday night here. And the firepower has been great, but the defense has struggled at times. They've allowed 10 goals. And I want to point out, most notably, their starting keeper, Brossois, he left the game on Monday in Game 3 with an injury. He's going to be out tonight, although Aiden Hill, he did a really good job stepping in for him, and he got the win. The Oilers just had a mental lapse in Game 3. The offense, they just took a night off there. The forwards were nowhere to be found, and that's very much not Oiler hockey, and we're not going to see that tonight. Their offense has also been great, but their defense has been atrocious, including their goaltender Skinner. He played awful on Monday night. I think we're going to get a better effort out of him. Flat out, the Oilers were just embarrassed Monday night, and I think we're going to see an Oilers team here that we saw in game 2 when they thumped Vegas on Saturday night. They're going to bounce back here. They only scored 1 goal on Monday. McDavid and Draisaitl, they're going to light the lamp. They'll get some calls, and we'll see the best power play in the NHL that I've seen in a really, really long time. And I played hockey in college. I've been watching hockey a really, really long time, and there's no power play like this Edmonton Oilers power play. So if you want to watch some good hockey, it's going to be tonight. We've seen these NHL teams bounce back big after losses, Drew. The Oil did it in game 2. The Canes did it last night. My best bet, I'm playing the Oilers in regulation tonight, minus 115 to get the job done, tie this series up, and go back to Vegas. Play on Edmonton Oilers in regulation, minus 115 for CT.
CT Pucks bringing the heat on the ice with his best bet. Guys, check him out on Twitter at CTBets16. Paco Healy in the chat box saying, is this the new time here? 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. KIV, this is the new time, non-football season for sure. Are we going to keep it during football season, or are we going to decide later?
That's a good question, because I actually just texted Johnny. I realized it was still wrong on our Wednesday graphic. And I was like, what the hell? We've been doing this at 5 o'clock for like 5 weeks now. So he said he's going to get it fixed for me tomorrow. It's up to you guys. Wednesdays are insane for me, but it's the best time for me to jump on after Bet on It and all of the other shows that I do, because that's when I have the best information. I've got most of my bets in. So we can move it back to 6 if you guys want to during football season. If we want to keep it at 5, I know it's kind of like this. I don't want to say mysterious, because I'm sure there's some data that Johnny Detroit has to back it up. But what I want is live engagement, comments on the YouTube channel, retweets, and that's hard on the East Coast for you guys, and then sometimes myself, with the West Coast people only being, 2 or 3. So what we're going to do is look at some of the analytics and stuff like that, and I'll let you guys know. But I kind of like not having a break in between shows. It's like show, 10-minute break, grab some water, do whatever, and then go right into the next show. Because I feel like if I have that hour break like I do during football season, I get sidetracked and I've got other things going on. So I'll let it be a group decision. How about that?
Sure. Kind of reminds me of the schedule like middle school. You go to class, 10-minute break, another class type deal.
Yeah,
CT, what are you
that
thinking?
way because you stay focused.
CT.
It's probably going to be a little harder for me in the fall to get home for 5 o'clock, but we could figure it out. This is good for summertime.
Okay, cool, man. And Trig, best bet, final thoughts for the show?
Drew, I'll do the show any hour of the day. Doesn't matter to me. We could do it at 11 p.m. I'll still be ready to go. I got a best bet. It's actually a client play. It's a 4% play. And to watch this one, you're going to need to be up at an obscure hour as well, because it's Korean baseball, Drew. What everyone was tuning in to get this. And I'm going to give them a Korean baseball play. I am on the Samsung Lions tomorrow morning, minus 120. 5:30 a.m. on the East Coast, 2:30 a.m. on the West Coast. They are playing the Hanwha Eagles, and I'm just going to break down the game for you. So Hanwha has both of these starters starting pitchers are former MLB prospects, so they're not Korean-born starters. They're the import player. Each team gets 3 of them. So Ricardo Sanchez actually making his KBO debut. Hanwha Eagles had to get rid of Birch Smith because he got hurt. So what happened here, in my opinion, and if you want me to go into real detail on this, just come tune into my Spaces, which starts at 6 p.m. I'm going to go into pretty big detail in this game. But basically, Ricardo Sanchez is going to make his KBO debut in this game. Hanwha picked him up because they needed a pitcher. And I from what I've been able to gather, he's kind of was like the one guy that was available. So this is one guy that was available and ready to go over to Korea and pitch. Okay, this is a guy that he made it to the big leagues with the Cardinals back in 2020, the pandemic season. He missed all of 2021 with an injury. Last year, he never got out of AAA, spent most of his season in the Phillies organization, but he pitched a full season at AAA last year. His ERA was close to 5. It was right around 5. That's not great, right? Like you do a full season in AAA and your ERA is 5. You're probably not a big league caliber pitcher. He started this season in the White Sox organization at AAA Charlotte. ERA was, again, in that 5 range. That's just not, the profile of the guys that these teams typically look for to come in and be, their ace or their number two. And that's what Han was essentially asking him to do. Now, you have the other element where he hasn't really pitched that much. Like he had maybe 8 innings for the Charlotte Knights, AAA Charlotte. And now, he's kind of been getting over to Korea, getting up to speed, throwing some side sessions, and he'll make his debut tomorrow. I just don't really trust, that just doesn't sound like a recipe for success for me, Drew. And I'm willing to go against it with what I consider to be a very good pitcher in this league. So Albert Suarez, former prospect, he spent a year in Japan. This is his second year in Korea. And so far in Korea, in a season, a little bit over a season, this being his second year, 2.66 ERA, 1.19 whip. That's pretty good. And, he had a couple of bad starts to start the season, back-to-back 7-inning shutouts. He's looked dominant of late. He's looked like the guy that pitched very well for Samsung last year in his last 2 starts. So I think there's a pretty big difference there. The biggest thing here, though, I don't think even if Ricardo Sanchez pitches well, I can't imagine he's going to go very deep. He's probably on a pitch count, something like 65 to 70 pitches, because he just hasn't thrown at all spring. And I think that's where this game gets tricky for Hanwha. They're probably going to have to eat up something like 5 innings with their bullpen, whereas Suarez has been giving Samsung length pretty much every game. So even though the bullpens, like Samsung's bullpen on paper is worse, the fact that they're really only going to need 1 or 2 innings here from their pen, and Hanwha might need to piece together like 4 or 5, is a pretty big difference. So Hanwha, dead last in the league in batting average. Samsung, just a little bit better offensively at -120. You take all of the pitching concerns into account. I think that's a great bet. So Samsung Lions, -120, 4% play for me. Best bet for the show.
Official timer stops, guys. Huge shout out to Ski Profit in the chat box. A lot of people on this, Trig. I got it at 3:39 there, Ski. But I started the timer a little bit late, so we need your official numbers here, Ski Profit. Trig, people are loving this, man. Betting over under on your best bet. It was 4 minutes flat, -120 to the over. That was Ski's. That's what he was taking action
if
at.
you told me that it was 4 minutes, I would have just said, let me just give you my bet, and I would have just logged off. You know what I did the last 4 minutes? I've been emailing back and forth with the guy who's got the house on the beach that we want to book. I checked my credit score. Don't ask. I'm waiting for my student loans to say they got paid off so I can see how much my credit score drops. That's how boring you are, Trig. I only heard the play, and everything else was like in my earpiece while I got a lot of things done.
I pay for the good Twitter. So clip that whole thing, send the whole thing to me. I'll tweet it right out. Everyone will love it. I can put that 4-minute clip on Twitter. No problem.
What you wanted clipped. I've been getting text messages about the fight odds. Carmine even tweeted me and said he would destroy Andrew. He said he's going down like a sack of potatoes. So now I got half the guys mad at me. I didn't think anybody listened to the show. Okay? How did I know that? Ski's over here texting me, telling me why he thinks one guy will beat another. What are you going to do? Now Johnny's texting me. I probably said something wrong. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I already gave this one out on money shots earlier. I'm taking the under 225.5. Lakers Warriors. I honestly was very close to pulling the trigger on the Warriors, on the Lakers, but the Warriors 15-3 against the spread at Chase Sitter during the playoffs as of late. And I just don't want to step in front of that freight train. But I will tell you this. The Lakers, as I mentioned, were kind of banged up. They were kind of written off, if you will, in terms of the playoffs. And here they come roaring back. Anthony Davis has had a couple nights. LeBron's had a couple nights. As long as one of the big stars shows up, I think it's going to be a really great game. But you know who needs to really show up? The defense. That is what they've been able to do, is really stifle this Warriors team. If I told you a month and a half ago that there was a chance the Warriors would be going home in round 2 to the Lakers, you would have told me I was insane. But here we are. Lakers with a shot to win it tonight. I think defensively they're going to step up big time, under 225.5. They've done a really good job taking Steph Curry out of his rhythm, kind of frustrating him. And I think we see some more of that tonight in the Chase Center.
Ski Profit in the under 2 at Kelly in Vegas on Twitter. Barstool Sportsbook, Wagertalk.com. Guys, in recap, I got the Sunshine State special here. Hey, likely the NHL Stanley Cup winners, and who knows, maybe the World Series winners raised. Betting them both tonight, guys. Near pick'em price, -110. and for the Rays, and minus 102 for the Florida Panthers to sweep the Toronto Maple Leafs. Actually, think I called them the Blue Jays earlier. Sorry about that, hockey fans, but hey, is what it is. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, vivatequilaseltzer.com. Promo code HUSTLE20 at checkout takes 20% off your order. Our flavors pair perfectly with our artisanal Blanco tequila for subtle and refreshing drinks. Our belief is to live long, live well, and live it up. Hashtag Viva Up. Thanks to everybody joining in on the chat box. It was live today, guys. All your opinions on the boxing matches, the UFC matches, whatever it turns out to be for the Wagertalk roster. Also, the best bet for Trig. That was great, guys. That was some of the best content on here in the chat box. Huge shout out to you, Skeed Profit, Paco Healy leading the squad here with the sharp numbers. CT Bets, Kelly Stewart, Adam Trigger. I am Drew Martin. Guys, make sure to check out wagertalk.com. Best free live odds in the industry. Free picks up there as well. Wagertalk.com. That does it for the show. We'll be back next Wednesday. Cash those tickets. Thanks for tuning in.